always great to have in the studio this time of year Dennis Duerling and Bill Misiewicz, the Clinton High School Hall of Honor. And we're going to talk about each one of these individuals, but Bill is going to name them off for us.
The class of 2025 includes Sherman Bell, class of 90, Frank Berrien, class of 1895, Donald Campbell, the class of 1921, Dave Edwards, class of 1984, and Sarah Hayes, the class of 2000.
That sounds like a great group again. And five, that was the same number you had last year, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You say that's kind of your sweet spot that you want to kind of hit in that area?
Well, it seems like it. 4 or 3 tends to be too little, and 6 to 7 seems to be too much. Denny and I and other committee members have discussed this before, that when you start voting and you're looking at people in all these different categories, career accomplishments in business or science or math or the military or the arts, that you got to look to the past for those who have been forgotten, and you need to look to those who can attend, because part of the whole process of this is that the students at Clinton High School can have an assembly, and we tie it into the award ceremonies for academics at the high school. And so this allows them to hear an inspirational tale about how Clinton High School made an impact on them as a young person.
Okay, you always go through every one of those biographies. Dennis, we'll start with you.
Okay, well, the induction will be in April 24th, and it's the class of 2026 that will be on their plaque and be on the wall, because we have a plaque, and don't know exactly where that's going to be at until the school gets totally finished. Yeah. But, starting off in kind of alphabetical order, we're sort of going that way. But in professional career accomplishments is Sherman Bell. Sherman graduated in 1990. He was born in Marks, Mississippi. Then he moved to Clinton in 1985. Now, while at Clinton High, I knew Sherman through student council, and he was a freshman class president, and he was a 4-year member of student council. He was president of the culture club. He was active in speech and debate, and he was in National Honor Society. Great young man. He even earned a scholarship to the University of Iowa. So he goes out his first year to college. He does okay, does good. Then he comes back to Clinton in the summer and faced some personal challenges that led to a period of adversity. He was convicted on federal drug charges and served 5 years in federal prison. But when he got released, he transformed his life through faith, perseverance, and a renewed sense of purpose. He began to work in the restaurant business. He goes and gets married, moves to Fort Wayne, Indiana. He and his wife founded KYB Holdings, which is a name for their restaurant that he started called the Hideout 125, a highly successful restaurant in Fort Wayne. In 2021, he expanded his ventures with KYB and opened a new restaurant in 2025, earlier this year. It was built, and it's generated now over $6 million in annual revenue. So from rags to riches somewhat. Sherman is committed to community service and mentorship. He serves as a mentor with the Fort Wayne Community School District. He's back to the good old days that I remember him when he was a freshman. And he, for his birthday this year at his restaurant, he opened it up and had all sorts of goodies, charged people to come to celebrate his birthday, but donate all the money to the Boys and Girls Clubs in Fort Wayne.
That is amazing. Now, how did he get nominated and selected? Talk about that process a bit.
I nominated Sherman.
Okay.
Because I knew the ups and downs he had in his life. And we were kind of close. I remember going up to see him when he was in the Clinton jail, and I said, Sherman, what the hell are you doing here? And I said, you got a scholarship to Iowa and all that. Well, he said, I wanted a new car. So then he got into the drug scene. And I said, well, I wanted a new car too, but I didn't get one until I was a freshman in college, only because my parents moved out of town and I needed a car. But in talking with him, what got me was the message that he has now in his life, that he could inspire so many of our young people. That he says he was a young black boy in Clinton, Iowa, a young man, when he came back, and he didn't think, because he was a young black man, that he deserved anything. He didn't deserve the recognition that he had. He didn't deserve his scholarship. So he just, rather than exceeding, going up, he went down.
I would imagine he's going to be here on April 24th.
Yes, he will be.
Okay.
He will be.
That is outstanding.
I can't wait to see him. I'd like to go to his restaurant in Fort Wayne, but it'd be a drive for me.
Bill, who do you got?
I have Frank Berrien from 1895. Mr. Berrien will not be attending. This gentleman, now he graduates in 1895, then he goes on to the Naval Academy. Now, you know, to get into the West Point or the Naval Academy, you need a congressional or Senate recommendation, so that's interesting. And he graduates in 1900. He plays baseball and football for the Naval Academy, all right? Now, the war of the Spanish-American War, 1898. So while he's in school, he's also serving on the USS Cincinnati because it was a splendid little war, as they call it. It only lasted for, I think it was like maybe 18 months or something like that. Once he gets done with that, he returns to the academy in 1908. So he was serving in the Navy. He becomes their football coach, and he leads them to a 21-5-3 record. Now, think about this. He's playing baseball at the turn of the century and coaching football at the turn of the century. You know, football was almost banned by Teddy Roosevelt because of its incredible violence at that time. You know, it was basically they're playing with a balloon ball and they're just trying to kill each other. No helmets or anything. When he's in the Navy during World War I, he's serving on 2 destroyers. And this is at a time when the United States naval forces were being created to match what Great Britain and Germany had on the high seas, because the Navy was considered to be the high technology of that time period. So as the Navy grew, his role in the Navy grew, okay? So after World War I, he then goes on to serve on a hospital ship for the veterans afterwards in France. He gets promoted to captain in 1922, and then he becomes a rear admiral upon retirement. Now, because of his incredible experience, World War II breaks out. Think about that. That's now going to be 1941. He's now coming back, and he's serving as basically an advisor and a professor of naval science at Yale University. But he was also second in command for the aircraft carrier Lexington. Now, aircraft carriers don't come into play until about the late 1920s, early 1930s. This is the highest form advanced technology that the military is using at this time. And the Lexington, of course, is embattled at the Battle of Coral Sea, the turning point for the Navy. What was that, 1942, I believe? I mean, this guy was all over the place. He then serves as the captain of the yard at the Washington Naval Yard. He did graduate from the U.S. Naval War College, and he's been recognized by the United Kingdom, the United States, and Greece for his incredible honors.
That is amazing. We're going to go to the others. We're going to take a break for the weather here in a second. How'd you dig up all this information on him?
I have to admit, I was a little embarrassed. I thought I knew just about everybody from, prior to, I would say 1940. This one was found by Mr. Golden. And so I started looking into it, and amazing. He was in charge of convoys. Mr. Berrien was in charge of convoys that promoted or took troops to Australia during World War II. My father was part of that convoy.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is amazing. Let's take a break for the weather, brought to you by Electronics.
Lots of gray skies continue for your Thursday. We'll even have some fog and some drizzle early on throughout the day, but a few peaks of sunshine likely later this afternoon. That yields a warmer day. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s today. For tonight, we will continue to see mostly cloudy skies and overnight lows in the upper 30s. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew
Got some
Sutsky.
fog yet, 45 degrees. Our update brought to you by Electronics.
Electronics Incorporated, the area's largest communications and alarm systems company, where their #1 goal is customer service. Their quality work in a timely manner keeps you connected to the world. Electronics technicians realize that communication is the key to your company's productivity and profit. Their professional team has decades of experience that bring you the best possible service. Electronics Incorporated, 522 North 2nd Street, Clinton, or go to electronicsinc.com.
2 down, 3 to go. The Clinton High School Hall of Honor class of 2026. What do you got for us, Dennis?
Well, I want to go back to Sherman Bell. He was nominated in the area of professional career accomplishments.
Okay.
We have another one that's going to be inducted in that same category, and it's Dr. David Edwards. He was the class of 1984, and he has a great impact on the global pursuit of sustainable energy solutions through his pioneering research. Notice that, pioneering research and advocacy for alternative energy sources. He got his PhD in mechanical engineering, and as Bill was talking about the Navy in Lexington, Edwards began his career with a company that contributed to the design of nuclear reactors for the U.S. Navy. Again, he's involved with securing patents and authoring scientific publications that advance the field of clean energy. Dr. Edwards is a leading voice in energy policy because his advocacy for clean energy has taken him before Congress, and he's also had several meetings with the President of the United States of America. A Clinton High grad, President of the United States of America, and giving him advice.
Amazing. So
Now, the President's
1984.
not giving him advice.
Yeah, right. 1984, so I would imagine he's in his 60s. So is he going to be able to make it in?
I've talked to him. Well, he said yes, he wants to.
Okay.
He wants to, but he travels a lot. He travels a lot. And I said, well, here's the date. It's April 24th. See if you can work around it.
That would be great. So that's 3 down. Who do you got there, Bill?
I now have the class of 1921, Donald Campbell, for professional career accomplishments. This guy was a pioneer of a device that material that we use on a daily basis. Early on, he won an essay in high school, which was judged by General Pershing, and he got to meet General Pershing, who thought he was such a remarkable young man. He then goes to Iowa State University, gets a degree in chemical engineering. So chemical engineering in the mid-1920s, like what does that consist of, right? Think about it, the automobile at that time is just making its inroads, all right? He then gets a master's degree at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I heard that's a pretty good school.
Yes.
Okay. Then he goes on to continue his studies at Harvard Business School. Wow. Okay. He spent 4 decades with Exxon, and he's one of what they call the 4 horsemen. All right. And he's like the prime mover of the 4 horsemen. These guys were, they developed, let me read this here, the fluid catalytic cracking process in 1942. Okay. For the layman, that basically means higher use of octane in gasoline from crude oil. Okay, now when is this possible? 1942. Oh yeah, during World War II, where you can use this gasoline at a higher efficiency for longer distances for airplanes that can be used on the USS Lexington. Oh, that's right. Is this crazy, the connections? All right. He then was awarded later on through Exxon over 30 patents. He's in the National Inventors Hall of Fame, all right, for his pivotal contributions to the modern petroleum refining industry.
That is incredible.
Right.
Clinton High School graduate.
I'm telling you, Gary, if you take a look from 1920 to 1930, we have, I mean, there is a slew of people that have made incredible contributions.
What would you attribute that to?
Well, I think back then, if you graduated from high school during that time period, you generally were going to go into further studies. Okay, at that time, we still had some remnants of the sawmill. All right, we were becoming more of an industrial hometown. And so you either got a job, you could get a job, you know, at 16, 17, or you can go on to, working or going on to college. We also had an incredible staff, I think, at that time. We had staff members. I was going through some of the yearbooks, and we had staff members who had been there through that whole decade. You know, now teachers are pretty transient, but, you know, like when I came in 1984, we had a huge number of teachers who had been there for over 20 years.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So who you got now, Dennis?
Well, I'm going to let him do.
Oh, this one. So you've done two.
I've done two.
He's done two.
And so
now
the last
you know,
one.
Okay.
I did have my Navy connection with Dr. David Edwards with helping with nuclear reactors. And,
Well, you're
he
probably a
has
counselor
81.
for him, I would imagine.
I was.
I don't understand how people in the middle of the country are drawn to the Navy.
Yeah.
I don't get that. But this one is for the fine arts. Sarah Hayes, a recent graduate of 2000, all right? And she loved theater. I remember her when she was in my classes. She contributes all this to former teacher and drama advisor Stacy Oakley. She has graduated from the University of Arizona in 2006 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. However, her love for theater, while she was in high school, she performed in all the plays and dramas. She was also in the Showboat area and Circuit 21 Playhouse. She worked with Chris Streets on some plays. She continues to promote drama and theater in her community of Iowa City. She has a thing called a Rising Stars Performing Classes, a thing where they do a thing, pay what you can performances to bring more art to more people, because sometimes people get intimidated. You know, they'll go to a ball game, they'll go to a concert, but going to live theater, you know, it's something about that interaction. I just love that. She has performed on Broadway in the Tony Award-winning musical Hairspray, and she toured the country and Canada, and she continues to work and organize performances at Hope Lodge in Iowa City, and I think she's going to be coming back to accept her award.
I would think so. My goodness, that is great. So there's the 5. So again, April 24th. What all takes place on that day, Dennis?
That's when we have the revealing of our plaque that we have for the people that are coming, and those that can't make it, of course, that have deceased, their plaque we put up on the wall. But as Bill started talking to you at the beginning of the program here, our purpose was to show and let current students hear that you can go on and have a great success in life after graduating from Clinton High School. And we incorporated with the awards banquets at Clinton High. We'll have freshman, sophomore, and junior awards, and then we'll have people speak to them. And then we'll have a break, and then we'll have the seniors get their scholarships and their academic awards, and they get to hear these people speak too. So it's to encourage our students. You can go and do a lot of great things after having a great education at Clinton High.
And I would imagine this is going to take place in that new addition, the new theater area.
We did it last year. We had it there.
Oh, okay.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful, beautiful place.
So
but
what
you
is-
need a map to get there.
So there's a luncheon. There's a luncheon involved. There's a tour. They come back and we give them student ambassadors. They take a tour of the building. They have lunch together with them. They hear the presentations at that time, and they receive their awards, and then they go ahead and they give their presentations to all the classes, and then we have the senior awards, scholarships, and the such also given at that time. So it's a long day for the honoree, but it's a fulfilling day.
I would imagine, and I would think that the students, most of them would be somewhat inspired and, really listen to what these folks have to say.
I really think if you inspire, just all you need to do is inspire one. That's all you need. You know how that works. There's some people that downplay what they're going into or what they do, but when you're younger, you don't realize that the journey is a process, and there's ups and downs, and there's also people that push you along the way. There's always a voice. There's always a hand. As a teacher, former teachers, we've seen that. We've had that happen to us. And again, if one person comes back and raises a little bit of hope in someone's heart, that's all we can ever ask for.
This occurred to me, we talk about the inspiring of the students, but what about you gentlemen and the teachers at the school? They've got to enjoy what these people have to say.
Definitely. We've had a lot of teachers that have retired will come to the program because they say, wow, I had that student. I want to meet them.
Yeah.
And we have family members around here that same thing. But it's amazing. Bill's the big historian. He can get all these ones. It's phenomenal. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how many graduates have done so many great things. And you'd say, oh, well, Clinton, Iowa. No, it's amazing. But we got to keep digging. We are always looking for new nominations. Okay. And don't, as Bill said, don't downplay what you think somebody is worthy of.
It is interesting that, and I like the fact that we've got I was calling them newbies last night at the River City Sports Review. But,
right.
Didn't last year, wasn't there another one that graduated just not that long ago?
Well, there was Romy Davis last year.
Yeah.
And there was, he's on TV, the actor.
Oh yeah, He's like from the 2000s. I want to say he's like maybe 99, 2000, or even 2001. Newbies, right? Right.
That is amazing.
Well, you have to be out of high school for 10 years. That's part of it.
Okay.
And a lot of times people are trying to figure that stuff out. That age 19 to 30, you're just trying to figure it all out. Mm-hmm. And then when you finally do, you usually floods that age 30 to 50. You're flooding your contributions into society generally.
Do you ever hear back from the honorees after they've been inducted? I mean, I would imagine they probably send you a thank you or something like that.
I don't think we ever see him. I think Wes may, because he's the head of it. But
I've had a thank you from ones that I personally were involved with by being their guidance counselor. Keith Knutson was with the Navy again. He thanked me.
And
we got to get some folks in from the Army and the Air Force. What's with the Navy?
We have a couple of those already.
Okay, good. Good.
It just seems like lately the Navy has been sailing with a great performance.
Oh, wow, Bill.
There you
Very
go.
good.
Thank you.
So again, April 24th. Public invited to any of these?
Definitely. We have a luncheon, and again, the public. It's good you bring that up because they say, "Oh man, I grew up with this guy. I'm going to get to see him. I haven't seen him or her." And we have a luncheon, and it costs maybe I think $10, but the food is phenomenal. It's made by the culinary class, so it's all kind of Clinton High oriented.
That is great. How can people find out more information or to make a nomination on the Hall of Honor, Bill?
Well, if you want to make a nomination, you could always reach out to any committee member through social media, or you can go to the Clinton High School or website or the Clinton Community School District website, there's nomination forms. You don't have to, if you don't want to do that, if you just want to say, hey, I have a resume about my, let's say your father, blah, blah, blah. All right, bring it on in. Every year, Gary, a committee member has to make a nomination. And it's kind of funny, if people know you're on the nomination committee, they come up to you, at a, either at a ball game or on the street or at the store. They say, hey, you should consider so-and-so. All right, let's, give me some information. I recently put somebody in, and it was from their sister, and I couldn't believe this gentleman's accomplishments. Obviously, they're not in, but it was a great nomination.
If you could, again, the names and the year of those that are going to be going
Sarah
in.
Hayes, the class of 2000. Sherman Bell, the class of 1990. Frank Berrien, 1895 graduate. Donald Campbell, a 1921 graduate. And Dave Edwards, class of 1984.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah.
You're listening to AM 1340 KROS, Clinton, Iowa.
FM 105.9.